Hi, I want to talk about 3 ways to remove judgmental comparisons from your life. Carol Berg here with Verder Well. Often we see ourselves in comparison with others, which carries this tendency to kind of separate the world into good and bad, right? These judgmental comparisons, they cause us to label ourselves or we label others, um, and either we're less worthy or they're less worthy. And we we don't know if they are even abiding by our opinions. And if we don't abide by their opinions, then they label us and all that kind of stuff. It gets kind of crazy when we start start being judgmental. And studies show that when we're presented with two options, uh, we kind of unthinkingly just take the option that um, is involved with our immediate survival, of course, or our satisfaction. So if you have an option of eating a carrot or carrot cake, for instance, which would you take? And if you took the carrot cake, would you be labeled as one who has a sweet tooth? Or if you took the carrot, would you be labeled as one who's a veggie nut? And would you want either one of those comparisons or those judgments over you? So then there's this zero-sum fallacy, it's called, that is a belief that if one person wins, the other one loses, right? And so strongly programmed in us that some people would rather be dead than wrong. And I know this because many years ago, maybe in another life, my diet was one of bad carbs and cigarettes. And I would rather blow smoke in the face of the people who judged me rather than stopping smoking, knowing that I would even die at an earlier age than if I didn't smoke, or that I would likely die of a horrible disease. So there's that choice, I'm going to stick by my choice, right? This type of thinking, this black and white thinking, this demon and angel, good and bad, excuse me, it doesn't necessarily work for us personally, right? And instead, it causes us often to judge ourselves or others or situations or things that we eat. Categorizing vegetables is a common thing that we label as bad. And often it's due to some previous interaction that we had as a young child. Maybe, maybe going to the school cafeteria and getting a bunch of uh, spinach that was overcooked and overprocessed plopped onto a plate made us not want spinach for the rest of our life. I know that happened to me, obviously. And wouldn't eat spinach until about 10 years ago. And yet I absolutely love it now. It's my dark green vegetable of choice, dark green leafy vegetable of choice. So here's your first tip of the day. Remove and separate yourself from this long ago judgment. Don't talk about it, don't note it, just observe it for what it is. See it for what it is, some association with a young child's past that doesn't make any sense that you're even considering it as a part of your life now, right? So then when you're faced with a food that you don't like because of something that happened way back then, it gives you the freedom to be able to enjoy the choice of having that particular food. So tip number 2, learn to recognize any new judgments that are coming up. Things that you can actually step back from so that you choose something that you actually want in your life. And the sooner that you recognize these new judgments or patterns, the better off that you'll be. So there's this current eating fallacy going around that you need to eat 6 meals a day. For some people that will work, and for others it won't. But sometimes people who have this pattern in their life, they think that everybody should have that pattern. And then there's that judgment that goes into it. So if you can step back, tip number 3, step back from that judgment. Think of it as, if you're looking at that particular fallacy, you think of it as a frequency of eating that doesn't work for you or that does work for you. You can certainly try it, see if it works for you, but if you decide not to continue with it, or you decide you don't even want to try it, then that's your choice. So trust yourself to move into that direction. And so your action step for this week is to see if there is a choice that actually works for you, that maybe you try something and you didn't die, and so try it again. Because when you choose to live mindfully and heartfully in your own choices, under your own reality, using your own thought patterns, your intentions become clearer. You are able to develop an attention to it and a diligence and the courage to actually listen to and trust your own intuition. So I developed another worksheet for you this week, which is 3 ways to remove these judgmental comparisons, to observe the judgment, and maybe it's a long ago judgment, to release and step away from a current toxic food judgment, and then try out your choice. See if it works for you. So pick up your worksheet. I'll post it below. And if you find that you need a little more coaching to help yourself become comfortable with taking a leap into removing some judgment over some eating behavior that you want to uh, be released from, or adapt some new eating behavior into this personal eating style that you might want to develop, reach out to me, please. And either my website or on Facebook, you can just direct message me, and we'll get together and have a little chat and see how I can help you get through that. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.